Welcome to Team Kings, showcasing team spirit at Kings High School. Brand new show this year, and with us for our introduction show, two of the members of the football team. We've got Levi Bundrant, who plays receiver and a little bit of a defensive back, as well as the current quarterback slash athlete, I should say, Brennon Blevins. And guys, thank you first of all for being on the show with us.
Yeah, of course.
And congratulations on a nice victory the other night. You defeat Cedar Park Christian. More importantly, third consecutive victory on the season for you. And Brennan, I'll start with you. You start off the season with 3 losses. Now you've got 3 wins. Biggest difference so far this year? What's been the biggest adjustment you guys have made in terms of getting those wins?
Finishing strong. That's our motto is start fast, finish strong. And if you look, the past 3 games in the second half, we've put up most of our points. So I think our finishing games and how we finish out games scoring wise as a team has been our key to victory.
Very nice. Levi, what about you? What are some of the biggest reasons for the turnaround for the team?
I think finishing strong is one of the main points, but I mean, also the coaching has been, really stellar. We've been getting some really good play calls on offense and defense just to help us finish the game.
Play calling, offense, you talk about both of those things. And this guy here in the middle, getting it done at quarterback, you've put up some huge numbers lately, Brennan. I know you've scored, 10 rushing touchdowns. You've thrown for 8 touchdowns. You've had 2 receiving touchdowns this year, 1,500 yards of all-purpose. Talk to me a little bit about your season. I know you played a lot of receiver in the past. How are you liking the move to quarterback right now?
It's fun. It's fun to have control of the team and be the team leader. Like when we win, everyone looks up to me, so it kind of feels good to be able to control the game and be the guy. And I mean, last year I played the first 4 games at quarterback as a junior, and then I went to receiver. And I think just my nerves are all gone this year. I'm just excited to play.
And it seems like every time I look at the stats, and we should mention some of these stats, they've been a little ridiculous lately. The last 2 weeks in a row, you've accounted for 7 touchdowns each of those games, not total. Each game, I think you've run for 4 and thrown for 3 in each game.
Yes, correct.
Video game numbers, really. I mean, how much fun are you having out there right now?
A lot of fun. I think for the first time in my whole life, I was not nervous for a game against Seaholm, and that's when I put up 7 total. And then the next week at Cedar Park, I'm like, I'll just do it again because I was nervous again. I was excited to play, excited to be there. So.
And this guy to your right here, watching his huddle video, getting ready for this interview, a very impressive season for you so far. Catching the ball, I know you've got 4 touchdown catches already, and from what I've been able to tell, it looks like you don't mind running various routes too. I know you run a lot of deep slants. You'll run out patterns. Do you have a favorite particular type of a route or a favorite play?
I just like to run deep, honestly. Just go up high and catch the ball.
And you have 6'3", is that correct? 6'4"?
Yeah, 6'2", 6'3".
So you use that height to your advantage. Tell me a little bit about that. I've got to think that when you get lined up against a shorter DB, does that get a little exciting for you?
Yeah, I like to give a nice little look at Brennon if I have a smaller DB lined up on me on defense, and usually he'll throw me the ball.
Yeah.
And it seems to be working so far. Hey, rather than have you guys talk about yourselves a little bit, tell me a little bit about each other and what it means to have that person as a teammate, as a friend, as a team member. Brennan, I'll start with you. Tell me a little bit about Levi Bundrant.
Well, I met Levi sophomore year with football, and we played football together and basketball sophomore year, and we weren't that close. But then this year, as football started, we became better and better friends, and now as we become best friends, we have that chemistry that not every athlete has with their other receiver, other teammate. So I have trust with him, and he's tall, basketball player, so he'll go up and get the ball, so I can trust him.
So when you're going back there to throw a pass, so you kind of like having number 8 to run downfield.
I'll look him in the eyes. He'll look at me, and we just have this connection. Like, oh yeah, we know what's happening. So he's there. I throw the ball, he scores. It works. It
works out very well. And now, Levi, tell me a little bit about Brennan. Not only the quarterback, but the teammate.
He's just a beast as a quarterback, but as a teammate, he's reliable. I know if he's not going to throw one of the receivers the ball, he's going to run it, and he's 100% always going to get some yards on that run. He's just a great guy to look up to on the field.
And now it's not just these two that are getting it done out on the field as well. They've got a nice team around them. Brennan, I'm going to start with you. Tell me a little bit about the offense. Who, if we're going to a Knights game, who are we watching for? Besides this guy here to your right.
Well, probably the easiest guy to find would be the big 7'9", Taylor Schoenfeld. He plays left tackle, and he's always knocking someone in their butt. So he's the guy. And then at running back, we have number 5, Camden Hauk. So he hurt his leg in the second game of the season, but he came back against Cedar Park, and he's just a beast. He's a tank. He's 5'10", 215, just bowls people over. And when he's going, he's going.
Nice to have those guys on the team.
Yep.
Very nice.
And then also at receiver, number 4, Jace Franson.
Mm-hmm.
He's also 6'1", another tall receiver. He'll go up and get the ball. So me, him, and Levi kind of this connection where I'm one of those guys will always be like my guy to go to.
So plenty of weapons in the offensive arsenal there. Tell me a little bit about the defense, Levi. Who are we watching back there?
On defense, two or three biggest numbers you're looking at are obviously number 75 or 79, Taylor Schoenfeld. He's just a beast defensive tackle. And number 12, Johnny Chen. Dude, a couple games ago, I think he got 17 tackles, and last night, Friday, I think he had 10 or 12 tackles.
Yeah.
And he's just hits so hard. He's a beast.
Johnny Rocket.
Yeah.
Johnny Rocket, is that his nickname?
That's his name,
Yeah.
Johnny Rocket.
And Jared Stretton.
Oh, yeah.
He's also an animal out there. Jared knows all the play calls, and he knows what's coming.
So plenty of guys to go around there. And I was going to ask Brennan, too, about one particular play I saw when I was watching your highlight videos.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching you block on one of the kick return teams. I think one of the upbacks took a play.
Oh.
You ran by him and threw a block. I've got to think that Coach Schaap gets a little nervous when his quarterback's out there making contact like that. But my goodness, you definitely you bring a little power with you when you hit. Tell me about that part of your game. Does Coach maybe want you being a little less physical now that you're playing quarterback, or is he okay with it?
My coaches don't see me as a quarterback. They see me as an athlete, so they just want me on the field. So if I'm on it, I'm making the best I can. And this was at the end of the game against Cedar Park. I'm like, Coach, should I be in right now? He's like, yeah, just stay in. Okay, I'm back there. The guy up catches it. I'm like, I'm going to make the best of it. So I sprint full speed, and the guy's about to tackle my teammate, and I'm not going to let that happen. So I bowl him over.
Put a nice hit on him.
Yeah.
Hey, big game coming up. Friday the 13th game, as you mentioned to me during the break here. Granite Falls on the road. Do you guys enjoy playing road games? Is it kind of fun to go into somebody else's house and to get that environment, Levi?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We've only had one other away game this year, and that was at Arch. And we unfortunately came out with a loss on that one, but we're hoping to come out with a W on this one.
And I should mention Granite Falls has a quarterback named Camden Landrum, who very similar to Brennan in the sense that likes to run, likes to pass, and picks up a lot of yards with his feet. Do you enjoy watching other quarterbacks when you're out there? I mean, just from the sake of, do you appreciate other people's games as well as your own and your teammates?
Yeah, I do. My favorite is to watch a quarterback who's more of a pocket passer, a tall kid, because I'm like, man, I wish I was 6'5" and just stand there and watch my guys. But so yeah, I like watching other quarterback styles and like how they get the job done and how it differs from mine.
Very nice. And then the following week on the 20th, your last regular season home game against Sultan. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about playing at Woolsey Stadium. I know for you guys it would be your last regular season game as seniors. Still hoping for a playoff home game down the road, but what does it mean to play at Woolsey, Levi? You've been playing there for a while now.
Yeah, it's big. Just the crowd and the fans. It just gives you kind of goosebumps when you make a big play because the fans go crazy and it's just a lot of fun out there.
One of the better high school atmospheres in the state. Brennan, do you ever catch yourself just kind of looking up and taking it all in and going, this is pretty cool?
One of my favorite parts is as Kings, we're a community. Like you see some of these towns, like Everett, for example, we'll have 3 or 4 high school teams in the town. Mm-hmm. So Kings is our own community where we have our own fan base from generations and generations to come. So to be in that stadium full of all Kings fans and our students are just student section is just great. And so just to know that we have that community watching us is awesome because we go out to school and everyone's talking about it, all the parents know, and so it's nice to look up and see everyone cheering for us.
Another great thing about your football program, Jim Shapiro really cares about the development of you guys not only as football players but as leaders and as people and whatnot. I know one of the things we were talking about earlier too is the commitment point system. Tell me a little bit about what that is and what it means to you guys.
So one of Schaap's mottos is team first. So you got to put the team first before the things. So commitment points is putting the team first as an off-season going to workouts, doing 7-on-7, working on routes, and also the biggest thing is keeping up your grades because at Kings we're all student athletes. It's being a student first, keeping up your grades. So you get A's, you get A's and B's, you get points. But the thing is, if you don't get your commitment points, then you're doing harder workouts after 2-a-day practices in the summer. So, yeah. Very
nice. And then, Levi, I know you guys have a nice ritual at the school that you do after the game quite often for home games. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, Afterglow, yeah. It's a cool experience where Coach Schaap invites all the players and all the parents and anybody who wants to come down, just either give roses for players that performed well and just say anything nice about any players. And it's just a cool experience to give glory to other people.
Absolutely. One of the you mentioned it, one of the cooler experiences for anybody who's ever been to a game and seen Afterglow. Very nice thing, nice touching way to acknowledge other people anyway. So I'm glad you guys are doing that. Before we let you go, let's talk a little bit about yourselves as far as being seniors, what the future maybe holds for you, college, other sports. I know, Levi, for you, basketball player. I know that you kind of consider yourself to be a basketball player first and foremost before football, right?
Yeah, I've been playing basketball since I can remember, and I've only been playing football for pretty much 2 years. So I've always loved basketball a lot more.
Basketball team with a very rich tradition. How does the team look this year? I know the fact that you guys lost Corey Kispert so early in the season last year, and yet you still made a nice run through the state tournament. I've got to think you would have obviously liked to have had Corey on that team, but not having him there and still having the success, does that give you guys more confidence going into this year?
Yeah, I think that gives us a lot more confidence rolling into this year because, as a team, we learned a lot playing without him, and we learned how to play without him, and I think it made us a lot stronger, and I think this year is going to be a really interesting year, and I think we have hopes to go pretty far in the playoffs.
We will see. Football first, though, but yeah, certainly basketball season looking very bright. And then, Brennon, for you, I know you're a multi-sport athlete. Track, you won a state championship last year on that relay team.
Correct.
And you're telling me that you may not be participating in track this year. What sports do you have coming up this year?
My whole life, I've loved baseball. When I was a kid, my family always thought baseball would be the sport that I take the highest. It wasn't until this last couple years that they saw it was football instead of baseball. But I love baseball and I like track. And so me transferring in as a sophomore, not being able to do varsity sports, cut off my ability to be able to play baseball for Kings. So I ran track for 2 years and I liked it, but I miss baseball too much.
So we might see you baseball. And you mentioned also that you might be returning to the hardwood. Is that correct, too?
Oh, yeah. So my great-grandpa, he's getting older and he just wants to see me play basketball. He's talking to me, I want to see you play basketball one last time. So I'm doing it for my family and for him this year.
So that's what you're going to be doing later on this year during the school year. Now, what about the following year? Both college aspirations. I know, Levi, your brother Noah, who we've watched play for a few years there at Kings as well. He's down at Azusa Pacific right now. Where might we see you next year?
Azusa might be an option down there. Just honestly, anywhere in California. I love California, and anywhere down there pretty much makes me happy. So. And
is basketball maybe a part of that equation?
Yeah, basketball or football. I'm not totally sure. If I can get an opportunity to play either, then I'll take that chance.
Keeping his options open, very nice. And then, Brennon, what about you? Where would you like to go next year?
Well, I was told coming into the season that at most I played D3 football, and I didn't get a whole lot of affirmation of me being as good of an athlete as I am. So I decided to just be my best I could this year, and as the season's going, I'm realizing that I can play bigger than that. So my goal is really to play Division I football next year for hopefully like a Big Sky school or a FCS team.
So a lot of lofty hopes and aspirations, not only for other sports this year, but also into college next year. But first and foremost, a little bit of football left to be played still. So guys, congratulations on your last 3 weeks and those victories, and best of luck throughout the season.
Thank you.
That will do it for this week's edition of Team Kings. Would like to once again thank our guests, Levi and Brennon, for coming into studio. Want to mention a few other fall sports that are going on right now as well. The Hole in the Wall event took place over the weekend. That is one of the largest cross-country invitationals in the entire state. That was up at Lakewood High School in Arlington. Two names I want to mention here. Cameron Chu finishing very strong for the boys team, and then also Naomi Smith for the girls team. So congratulations to them. Cross country, they're also going to be hosting an event on Wednesday that will be with Cedar Crest and South Woodby. So if anybody wants to get out and support the Knights cross country team, you can do so on Wednesday. The following week, it's already time for the Cascade Conference Championship. So that season starting to wrap up fairly quickly. Volleyball, the volleyball squad off to an 8-1 start. They've got 3 more home games coming up before the playoffs begin, so you still have a chance to get out and watch them, including a match on Thursday against South Woodby, and then you can watch them the following Tuesday against Sultan. So make sure you get out and support the volleyball team. And then the soccer team, they had a nice week. 2 different victories, one 7-0 over Cedar Park Christian and 6-0 over South Woodby. So they're putting up plenty of goals right now. They will also be home Thursday night, 6 p.m. against Sultan. And then they have a return trip to Archbishop Murphy, first place Archbishop Murphy, next Monday. So again, plenty of sports coming your way and other activities all throughout the school year. Thank you for watching. This is Team Kings. We'll see you next time.